Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, today let's talk about the massive Bitcoin inflows, okay? This has been happening for a few days now, but yesterday's numbers were massive. And what does this mean? Price recovery is imminent. So, let's talk about why there's so much Bitcoin inflows and everything else that's going on in the world today. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. We're starting out the day pretty good. Right around 58,000. In fact, last night we were a little bit higher, about 59,000, but we're slowly climbing upwards, getting back to where we were, right? So a lot of things to cover today. If you're looking at the U.S. market, we're starting out a little mixed. But tomorrow is the big day. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to get a big CPI inflation reading. Okay, many people feel like this will be a big catalyst for this week and for Bitcoin because most are thinking that inflation is going to be, or at least the inflation report is going to show inflation has come down even more last month because it measures last month. And if that's the case, that will be tremendous, okay? And we know the last few have shown inflation coming down. Whether that's true or not, I know. Whether it's fudge numbers, does not matter. Wall Street will react, okay? So tomorrow will be absolutely huge. And on top of that, jobless claims. The best case scenario is to show that inflation is going down, but jobless claims actually going up. So that would be the best case scenario. And then on Friday, same thing. PPI inflation going down, but consumer sentiment going down as well. So we want, and the optimal is bad economic data and good inflation data. That's what we want. That's optimal. And then we'll get our very first rate cut soon afterwards. Okay, so tomorrow will be an absolutely huge day when it comes to US. And we could definitely see a big catalyst because of it. Anyways, moving past that, what else is going on? Okay, the massive inflows. Okay, and I'm talking about inflows into the ETFs, of course. Okay, last night I already covered it. I knew it was going to be massive, but we didn't get the numbers from Blackrock, and now we do. 121 million just in Blackrock alone. Fidelity wasn't too bad, 91 million, and ARK was 43 million. The only fund that really lost a lot of Bitcoin is, again, Grayscale. Grayscale just continues to dump too. But overall, net inflow, 216 million. That's pretty darn good. And the day before was 295. And the day before was 143. You could see there is a sudden turn. Okay, we had a horrible week, massive outflows. But since then, we started getting inflows. And now this week, we're getting massive inflows. Okay, so what does this mean? BlackRock, Fidelity, Wall Street, they're all thinking that Bitcoin is oversold. Okay, because of one entity, and in this case, one country, Germany, brought prices down, probably should not have gone to, okay, meaning we hit 55,000, 56, 57. Without Germany actually dumping everything that they had, we probably would not have gone down this much. And a lot of charts show that Bitcoin is oversold. And on top of that, we know that there are a lot of major catalysts coming up for the remainder of this year. So Larry Fink and Wall Street, they know it's time to load up. And that's exactly what we're saying, right? And in case you're wondering, if you're still counting, BlackRock by far has the most Bitcoin of any fund, way more than Grayscale. Now, even though Grayscale still holds a lot, but now way more. It's not even in competition. And Fidelity is not too far off either. And these guys hold a lot more than even, well, at least BlackRock and Grayscale holds more than MicroStrategy as well. As much as Michael Saylor has been buying still. No match for BlackRock, right? So that's what's happening right now. And as for ETFs, we are going to get some leverage ETFs. Okay, that does exist. You know, a lot of guys play with leverage, you know, in crypto, right? But now Wall Street can too. So there's this T-Rex, either 2x long or 2x short spot Bitcoin ETFs, which will be coming out today. So if you're a traditional investor and you want to get a little risky and you want to do a 2x instead of 1x position of Bitcoin, you now can. I guess that's interesting. But besides, you know, the massive inflows and BlackRock just trying to eat up all the Bitcoin that they have, right? Obviously, we still got a ways to go before recovering to where we were before. We still have to worry about Germany. But the good thing is Germany looks like they're almost done. Okay. So last night when I was streaming, we looked at Germany's wallet and it was about 1.379, about 1.4 billion. Now it's down to 760 million. Okay, so obviously they sold another 600 million. If you look through their transactions, we got a lot. We have like here's one 375 to Coinbase. You got 375 to Kraken. Something that's called Flow Riders, which I think is some kind of brokerage. I looked at it the other day. I think they help business with digital assets. So I think they probably do sell OTC or something like that. But they sent a massive 3K to them. And then there's this other wallet that no one can identify, 250. So they've been selling a lot. They've been selling a lot. Okay, so they're like, we don't care about those Bitcoiners. We don't care if they continue to bitch about prices going down or being suppressed. We're just going dump. At this point, it's good, all right? Let them dump it all. We're getting closer because I was afraid when we were still at like close to $3 billion, this was going to be a drawn out ordeal. But now it's like, okay, they're like just like dumping it by $1 billion a day now, right? So this is good. This is good. This is almost over, okay? And of course, because of the ETF inflows, we're not seeing too much disruption. I mean, periodically we still see these small dips with Bitcoin, but overall we're holding very well and trending upward. So even with the massive selling that they are doing on top of Coinbase and Kraken and Bitstamp, you know, they're selling not OTC, they're selling on the spot market. It's actually quite amazing to think about that someone could dump $2 billion worth of Bitcoin on a spot market. And you know what? Now the market is eating up like it's nothing. That shows you how strong the market is, right? Absolutely fantastic. Hopefully this will be over soon. Now, as for Bitcoin and everything else that's going on, well, we know that, hey, fear is high, right? I've covered the fear and greed index. Fear is obviously high, right? Sentiment is low because of it. But the good thing is, this is usually a point when Bitcoin recovers, when there is a recovery of price, right? So right now, we're at a 1-year low for sentiment, which again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The fear and greed index showed that we are as fearful as January of 2023 when Bitcoin hit a low of $15,000. How can people be as fearful at 58,000 versus when Bitcoin was at 16,000? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And sentiment, you know, going all the way back to 1-year low, we go look 1 year back, we're still at like $30,000, below $30,000, right? So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But the good thing is, usually when we have these very scary moments, that's when Bitcoin, excuse me, reverses back up. And that's when we get a good recovery. And it does look like we're at that moment right now, right? Without Germany selling, I don't think we would have dropped this low, right? We could have dropped. We could have came down a little bit, but I think we would have held 60,000 and we would be a lot higher now. So there are times where you just can't predict external factors, right? Like Germany all of a sudden trying to dump 50,000 Bitcoin. But it does not matter because we have seen periods like this and Bitcoin does not care on continuing to move forward. And eventually we get through these scary times and Bitcoin forms a new high. It always happens every single cycle, never failed, right? And those of us that's been in the game long enough know that. Anthony Scaramucci, who I met actually recently, a couple weeks ago in LA, very nice guy, Skybridge founder, knows this too, and thinks that Bitcoin is still going to hit 6 figures by year end. Nothing has changed. Germany selling sucks, but nothing really has changed fundamentally for Bitcoin, and that's a good thing. Supply is still diminishing, and demand is still going up. That's all you really need to know. Okay? So it sucks, yes, that we're going through this period, but it will pass. It will pass. And something else that he mentioned that not a whole lot of people are thinking about is FTX will soon be releasing $16 billion worth of cash to their creditors, to people that had crypto on FTX exchange, right? But they're releasing it back in USDT or cash, right? I don't know if it's actually stablecoin cash, but that's actually fantastic, right? You don't have to worry about people getting back their crypto and selling it. In fact, if you're giving that stablecoin, most likely they're going to buy the dip, and that's coming soon, right? That's something that he's mentioned. So this is fantastic, okay? And I agree. I don't think anything that's happening right now stops Bitcoin from breaking 6 figures by the end of this year, which is almost, if you think about it, it's double from our current point, right? Double in what? 5 months. So why would you be scared now? Scared money makes no money. Remember that. And there are so many charts that show that we are definitely coming back up, right? It's still looking good. Besides the massive inflows into the ETFs, if you're looking at charts, a lot of great things. Here's one that shows the Bitcoin breaking above the 200 EMA once again, right? That's a very bullish pattern. Also, if you're looking at where we are now, a lot of people think that, hey, this is just Wyckoff accumulation. And what is Wyckoff accumulation? It's when the big whales purposely drop prices so that retail investors will get scared out and the whales come in and load up. What does that sound like? Doesn't that sound like what I just described? Like we knew that Germany all of a sudden selling, is it a coincidence or not? We don't know. But it drove a lot of fear into the market. And guess who's picking up at bottom? Blackrock and Larry Fink, right? Even though you could say, well, it's not them, it's their fund, and Wall Street's loading up. But BlackRock has come out and said that they are filling their other funds with IBIT too. So that's essentially them buying their own product and them buying Bitcoin. And who knows what other wallets they hide that have Bitcoin too. So they're loading up. Wall Street's loading up, right? So that's exactly what Wyckoff is describing. When you have these big whales that want to drive people out so that they can accumulate more, sounds pretty plausible. It sounds like that's exactly what has happened and is happening right now. But the good thing is, if this is true, right, the whales want to make money. So after this accumulation, what happens afterwards? Usually the asset breaks above and continues forward, right? Just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin will get back to its previous high of 73,000. And when it does, it will break through. And that's when we will see the next leg up, 80, 90, 100,000 by the end of this year. And I do think that that is going to come for sure, right? Especially, and then we have catalysts like a rate cut that may be coming to U.S. If that happens sooner or later, that will definitely make things faster. And then last thing I'll show you about Bitcoin. This is just looking at all previous cycles before and the post-halving rally, which is in red, and you could see it happens every single time, but it's not smooth. It looks like it's smooth. It looks like it just goes up forever when you zoom out like that. But, you know, I've shown you guys these rallies zoomed in, and there's many, many dips. Many 20, 25, 30, 35, 40% dips during those post-halving rallies. Okay, just like the one we're going through right now. Bull market is not canceled. No, it's not. We will continue forward. You just have to have some patience. That's really it. All right. Now, outside of Bitcoin, just a few other little news. We know that the Ethereum ETFs are around the corner. We keep hearing about it. Every single exec is saying that they are going to release. Grayscale predicts it's the 18th, I believe, which is only like a week away. Here's a Bitwise one that's saying that, you know, there's fewer and fewer issues with their S1. So watch out. Ethereum spot ETFs are coming and will be released on the market soon, which I believe is another catalyst that can drive us upwards once again. Okay. And after that, Sol ETFs. But here's an interesting chart of Sol, which basically is showing that it's mimicking what happened in 2021. Okay. It started out hot, then it cooled off, and then it just kept going. Yes, I'm very bullish on Solana. I love everything that's happening on top of the chain. And I do agree right now, even though Solana is a little bit lower than earlier, it's like 140. I do believe there are many, 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 many price jumps ahead. And if Bitcoin ends up above 100,000 by the end of this year, I don't even know where Solana will be. Maybe $400, $500 by the end of the year. And then it'll be even crazier next year. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I think I saw this too. Jupiter, which is the biggest DEX aggregator on Solana, absolutely killing it. They have more volume than even Uniswap. And they want to establish something called GUM, Giant Unified Market, where a world where everything is available on chain with a single swap, whether it's cat or dog memes, real world assets such as bonds or equities and consumer products like wine and energy, all in one place. Basically, they want to make it so that on Jupiter, you could trade anything. That's what it sounds like. You could trade memes, which of course people are doing already, but also RWA assets and everything else in between. So those guys are doing it right. Fantastic exchange. All right. That is it. Let's do some Q&A. All right, let me scroll up here. Let's see if I missed anything. Ray John asks, George, do you think we have enough data at the end of the week for Powell to cut rates in September? September, yes. July, no. That's what, for sure, there will be a rate cut in September. But as for July, just don't know. Just don't know. Right now, it's not looking like it's going to happen. But I'm hoping it does. Let's see. The U.S. market looking green today. Nvidia up, Tesla up, Coinbase up, MicroStrategy. Look at MicroStrategy up 2% today. MicroStrategy now almost a $24 billion market cap company. What was their previous high? They topped out around 1900. Yeah. Kind of like Bitcoin, it went down since March, but you know, they get back up there in no time. Let's see, Coinbase. Coinbase not doing as well. I actually own Coinbase options. I'm hoping it does better, but 55 billion market cap, and their high was about 265. Not too far off, like about 20%. They're both about 25% off. And someone like Nvidia just continues to go higher. Let's see where Nvidia is. Nvidia has nothing to do with crypto, but still. They topped at 135, so they're like $2 away from their all-time high. Nvidia just does not come down. Kind of crazy. George, what's your opinion on the RS5? They look great. All RS cars from Audi look great. They're decently fast. Interiors of Audi, too many screens. Tons of fingerprints everywhere. So I mean, it's not bad for a two-seater. Michael's asking how many miles on the Ferrari. I think it's like less than 300. Like 200 something. I don't drive that car very often. Would you buy a yacht? Say you would buy a yacht. Would you consider Lamborghini yacht? Sure, but I would never buy a yacht. It's just not my thing. Seawolf is asking, just holding Bitcoin and Sol about 40% each. Is this a dumb play right now? No, I don't think so. I mean, you're a little heavy in Sol, but that's okay. And then that means you still have 20% in everything else, which is fine. I don't see anything wrong with that portfolio. Dom, yeah, I need to get more sleep. Brabus boats. Those Brabus G-Wagons, I don't know. They don't look that good to me. They go too extreme. I'm sure the Brabus boats are probably the same. Davis says, my portfolio is down so bad that I owe money. Well, that should not be the case. Okay, if you invested more than we could afford to lose and you put down collateral and borrowed against your crypto, that's the only way that could happen. Or you leverage. But even with leverage, you just go to zero. You don't owe money. I know you're kidding, but yeah, this is an important note. I think a lot of people forget. A lot of people buy crypto with credit cards, and that never ends up a good thing. I mean, some people say, yeah, I've made money and stuff, but you're putting so much pressure on yourself because you're paying high interest rates. And plus, it's money that you don't have. So if you actually lose it, it puts yourself in a much worse position, right? Rule number one is never invest what you can't afford to lose. So you never want to buy crypto on credit, on debt. You never want to borrow. This doesn't make sense. What's your take on buying upcoming stable coins? I don't know. Why would you want to buy upcoming stable coins? I don't know. I don't know. You know, last night someone said, "Hey, we like polls." So let me throw a poll in here. What should I ask? Have you visited Germany before? I don't know what poll to ask. What's a good question to ask? Start a Q&A. Answer viewer questions live. So you could actually do a start Q&A. What does that mean? Have you been to Germany before? No, that's not what I want. Someone asked George, what were your profits like from the first and second cycle? Did you hit it big right away or slow grind? No. 2017, I didn't hit it big. I mean, I made money, but I started out like everyone else. Basically no money, you know, dead end job, 9 to 5, had almost no savings whatsoever. So when 2017 started, I got back into Bitcoin. I only had $3,000, so I bought 3 Bitcoin with it. And the only reason why I had $3,000 extra was because I was actually flipping cars like prior, and that's how I made that. And I'm like, okay, I have $3,000 left, so let me put it back into Bitcoin because I saw that hit $1,000 again in 2017, and then I started educating myself more because I got in Bitcoin before that. But then, Ethereum got hot and I started paying attention. But even by the end of 2017, that money multiplied tremendously. But, after it still wasn't that much. I don't know how much I ended up with. But by the time 2018, 19, 20 rolled around, a lot of it went down. I held everything. And I had to figure out how to survive. Because after I started my channel, I was laid off. I was doing it full time. There was no views on YouTube. And I had to use a lot of it. I had to sell off most of it just to survive. So I essentially started over in 2021. But I had a little bit, but a little bit more than what I started in 2017. But I certainly didn't have that much. But it's a journey. But every time you go through it, you're better off, and you make a little more, you make a little more, and then it starts multiplying every single cycle. And 2021 was just absolutely fantastic, even more fantastic than 2017. What else can I show? I'll show this. What did the poll say? 37% of people in here have been to Germany before. 63. That's actually a lot more than I expected. I've never been to Germany before. Jack says, Mount Gox, Germany. Are there other dumps looming? Who knows? Who knows, man? Maybe the U.S. government wants to dump their holdings too next. No one knows. CryptosRUs. I like the Bronco Raptor. I do too, but Ford dealerships are still marking them up. I like Germany. Didn't see your poll though. Yeah, I would like to visit Germany. I think the only reason is to go on the Autobahn. I don't know of any other reason to go there. How many people have been to Japan? I hear Japan is awesome. All right, let's do another poll about Japan. Han is asking today, would you put 7K towards Sol or ETH ETF? You mean Sol or ETH? I would put all of it. No, I'd put like 5K into Sol and probably like 2 into ETH, something like that. I wouldn't put all of it in Sol because ETH can start pumping once the ETF does come out next week, or it may climb before it comes out next week. Man, almost no one here has been to Japan. I find most Americans do not travel outside the country. It's weird. I have so many friends before back in high school and stuff. You ask them to travel outside the US and they're like, they have no interest whatsoever. And it seems like a lot of people from Europe also does not want to travel to Japan or Asia. Japan, everyone I've talked to that's been to Japan says it's awesome. It's awesome to go there. My kids want to go there, so I'm planning a trip to go to Japan. Is this a World War II tour? No, it's not. That's surprising. I guess a lot of people just don't go to Asia. J Dog says, my friend's been there twice already. He's ready to go back soon. Yeah. Gotta check that off my bucket list, I guess. Soon. It's not really on my bucket list, but yeah, I would like to go soon. Scott has been there. Please look at Cubic. Same founders, IOTA. IOTA's like dead. I don't know why that's a good thing. I mean, I hate it already. Self-circulating supply is only 8%. It's already 2.3 billion diluted, fully diluted market cap. Don't know why there's so many decimal points. Unless you're a meme, there is no reason for this. And you look at the first comment here. Cubic is a professional rug pull operation. Yeah, and it debuted in February. It's been going all the way down. So yeah, can't say good things about Cubic at all. Try Thailand poll. I bet if I did a Thailand poll, it's going to be even worse than Japan. I think a lot of people in general, Westerners, don't go to Japan or Thailand or Asia. I'm going to Yellowstone and Grand Teton in December. I was actually thinking about going to Yellowstone. Just a quick vacation, but I don't know if it's worth it to go. Flights are pretty expensive just to go in the middle of nowhere. Let's do another one. What's another country? Let's just do somewhere like in the US. All right, here. Have you been to Nashville? If it's as bad as Japan, that'll be bad. So another good thing about Japan is because their currency has been losing so much strength against the USD, everything there is like super cheap now. Like it's half off. The yen lost like 50% to the USD. Man, seems like no one has been into Nashville either. Only 29% says yes, 71% says no. You know, all these people say Nashville's like the Vegas of the Midwest. I think they're all lying. I don't believe that. Carlos says a bit too far from the UK. Well, here's an opportunity because the Bitcoin conference is coming in a couple weeks. I'm told they're expecting about 20,000 people in the city for the Bitcoin conference, which is crazy. And if Trump shows up to give his speech, it'll be even more than that. Man, that's horrible. 29% yes, 72% no. Okay, here's one. I got a good one for you guys. I got a real good one for you guys. Vegas or Miami? Let's see. This is interesting. K-Jam says I'm burnt out on Vegas. I was just there a couple weeks ago to watch a UFC fight. I've been there now like 3 times. You know, prior to last year, I haven't been to Vegas for like 20 years. And this last year, I've been to Vegas like 3 times. Yeah, I think 3 times. I've been traveling way too much this past year. Oh, man. Now we're getting somewhere. 50-50 right now for Vegas and Miami. Miami's pulling ahead a little bit. 51%, 49%. Joe Stringer, what was the first alt you bought other than ETH? It has to be Litecoin because I started mining Litecoin. That was actually the very first crypto that I got into. But, you know, because when I got into things in 2013, 2014, everything was just basically a copy of Bitcoin, right? That's why they're called altcoins. But when 2017 rolled around, Ethereum came around, and I'm like, yeah, I think it's just another altcoin. I didn't realize the huge potential it had with smart contracts and all. Because I didn't pay attention when it actually first ICO'd in 2015. I should have, but I kind of missed the boat, even though I didn't really, because in 2017 Ethereum was like still like $5-10, and I saw it go up to 400, drop back down to 100, and then it ended 2017 at like 1,000 or something. Man, that's surprising. Miami over Vegas. I would have thought for sure Vegas would be winning. Man, people love Miami. For those of you guys that like Miami, what do you like about it? There's only three things I could think about: beach life, Cuban foods, and girls with daddy issues. I mean, those are the only three I could think about. Like, what else do you guys like about Miami? Staff asks, MicroStrategy or Bitcoin, which is the fastest horse? Actually, MicroStrategy is the fastest horse right now. It's faster than even Bitcoin, if you go all the way back to 2020. But in recent times, I don't know. It's pretty close. It's pretty close, Staff. I don't think you could lose with either one. All right, end this poll. Well, Miami wins. I'm really shocked by the poll result there. I thought for sure Vegas would win. Keith is asking, what are your thoughts about Doge and Sheeb this bull run? I think they'll still do fine. I think they'll do fine, but I don't think they're going to do nearly as well as last cycle because of the other memes. Vegas is the degen center. Miami has the best cocaine. Probably. I wouldn't know anything about that, though. Miami has a better selection of women for sure. Yeah. Chester's asking, does base surpass Sol as the meme chain this bull run? No. No. It's going to be Sol for sure. Everyone is launching on Sol. There's 500,000 coins being launched on Sol per month. I just don't see the same thing with base. Nashville has the women too. I guess we'll see, Kenny. I guess we'll see. What do you think about Seam? I don't know what Seam is. What's another good question I could ask? All right, I'll just ask. Sol?
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.
You're gonna ask that. Why blow money in Vegas? This is from Dwayne. Dwan Garrett. Why blow money in Vegas when you should be DCing with it? Well, I mean, sometimes you got to have a little fun, right? All work and no play makes Dwan. I lost it there. I don't know what happened to my screen. I just realized it was black. Sorry. And I accidentally played the video again. I swear that's not intentional. Man, look at the poll result right now. 85% for Sol, 15% base. No one likes base. I mean, this is what I always said about base. I don't care about base because I can't profit from it. You can't buy base tokens. You can buy Sol, you can't buy base. So, like, I think the poll is accurate. All right, let's do a political one, but I already know the answer to this. You know what? Let's add an option. All right, let's do a political one. Better candidate: Trump, Biden, RFK. Oh, video is still doing well. Yeah, there's definitely still some selling from Germany right now. Yeah, this is no surprise. No surprise. RFK is getting a good number of votes. %, 8%, 28%. About 400 votes. And we got 2,500 people watching. Why is not everyone voting in these polls? You guys need to. I guess a lot of you guys are driving or at work and you can't vote, but we need more voters. All right, so that was pretty easy. No surprise. All right, here's the final vote, final poll. All right, final poll. Oh, this is pretty close. Are you married? Yes, no, divorced. It's really close. 43% yes, 43% no. Really close here. You know, whoever suggested this last night saying polls is fun, or polls are fun. It is. I think I'm going to do more polls. Non-married people for the win right now. 45% said no. Irvin says, come on, man. Everyone has kids? No, not really. You'd be surprised how many people that don't have kids. Pretty close. 42% yes, 46% no, 12% divorced. It's about even. It's pretty even. Now it's 47%. Yeah. All right, that's enough. I'll do more polls tonight. So to conclude, you know what? Bitcoin is doing fine. German government decided to sell another 600 million. Okay, but we're getting close to that. Once that's done, it's done. Wall Street, Blackrock continue to buy massive inflows. So stay strong, my friends. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's DCA night tonight. It's been a while. So let's check out the DCA portfolio. All right, have a good one. Take care.